Due to mature subject matter, viewer discretion is advised.
At Bexar County Jail in San Antonio, Texas, the biggest problem isn't the murderers or the drug dealers. It's the gangbangers. They've turned Bexar into a battleground.
They're gonna get dropped. That's the way it's gonna be.
Where rivals face off behind bars.
This really is a power struggle.
And everyone is pushed to the edge.
It's a war. It's a war.
From inmates caught in the crossfire.
I got beat badly by 4 inmates.
To the officers trying to maintain control.
Fractured skulls, broken arms, broken ribs. It happens.
In the volatile world of Bexar County Jail, it's gang war in San Antonio.
These dudes will kill you.
But the past decade has seen the rise of a splintered group behind bars. The gang known as the Tango Orajon. These inmates used to do the dirty work for the Mexican mafia. Now, they want to run the jail.
We've been seeing an uprise in the Tango Orajon. Currently in this jail, we have over 700 confirmed members of the Tango Orajon, but they're recruiting on a daily basis. By this time next year, we could be well into the thousands.
Informant Payaso is from the Tango Orajons. He started as a foot soldier in the Mexican mafia's highly regimented army.
I got locked up when I was 16 for aggravated assault. I ended up joining the Tango Orajon. We used to be under the Mexican mafia. They had us doing their dirty work. You know, whatever they wanted us to do, we would do.
Tired of following the mafia's orders, they decided to split off about 10 years ago.
That's when we split up. We went to war with them, and we stood strong and finally broke off.
More and more of the Orajons are young and aggressive, answering to no authority at all, which makes them even more dangerous. To cope with the growing gang problem, the jail has decided to segregate the enemies, to house each gang in its own separate pods, spread over the 6 floors of the facility.
Our concept is if we have to house them somewhere, let's house them in a place where we're going to have the least amount of problems. If we segregate them, we take them out of population, contain them there, we tend to be a lot more productive in dealing with these gangs. We also are able to learn more about them. And there's the old saying, know your enemy.
But it's not always easy to figure out where new arrivals belong, especially guys like Jose Angel Santos. He's a Tango Orajon who wants out of gang life completely.
I'm an ex-member. I just came to realize that I didn't want any part of it. I didn't want to make this a lifestyle, so I just decided to get out of it. I saw a lot of foul things happen. I had my share of riots, and I did what I had to do to get by.
To get out of the Orajons, you have to subject yourself to at least one beating.
I'd say beating from 2 to 3 individuals for a period of 2 to 5 minutes, depending on the person in charge at the moment.
But in Jose's case, the beatings have never stopped.
On several occasions, I got jumped. On others, you know, I had just fought one-on-one. They wouldn't leave me alone because I was an ex-member.
A 5-time offender recently arrested on drug charges, Jose is depressed to find himself back in intake.
It's been hard. It's been a hard year. It was just so much coming at me. I didn't know how to act.
Jose's trying to pull himself together, but he's worried. Will he be attacked again? Tuesday, 3 p.m. A code 2 is called. Officer in need of assistance. A fight between inmates in one of the Ortejon units. CERT moves into action. A SWAT team behind bars. It's CERT's goal to arrive within 90 seconds, hopefully before any serious damage can be done. Three Ortejons have jumped one of their own over a perceived slight. According to the officers, when Ortejons feel disrespected, they respond with violence.
Y'all gotta come deep, catch paper one-on-one with me, catch paper one-on-one, be where you really at. You ain't bad,
Sergeant Avila is in charge of this SRT unit. He knows how tough this jail can be.
You know, this is the most violent place you can work. I've been stabbed in the head before, you know, thank God I had a helmet on. You don't know if the first guy is gonna start stabbing you as opposed to getting on the ground. So, is adrenaline involved? Most definitely. That and fear, it's there, you just have to control it.
A 10-year veteran, Avila understands the importance of an organized response when chaos breaks out.
The CERT team was developed and created in order to be able to respond, organized, trained, prepared.
When an inmate blockades his door, SRT can handle tricky cell extractions like this because they're ready to come down hard if they need to.
If extracting an inmate gets violent, and so be it. He should have done what he was told, and that wouldn't have happened.
Chest down on the floor right there. Put your hands behind your back.
We've sent inmates to the hospital, broken, fractured skulls, broken arms, broken ribs, torn ears, broken eye socket. It happens, you know, the inmate gets treated the way he acts, and I tell inmates that all the time. If you act like a jerk, you're gonna get treated like a jerk.
Avila is not only a CERT sergeant, he's also the supervisor of the second floor, where Mafia and Ortejon members are housed.
Okay, so we got a time start, we got to hold the maintenance, we got to hold the CID. This whole floor is like a little city. I have almost 1,000 people on just this floor that I supervise. That's what I'm in charge of. I'm like the mayor.
Close your doors behind you.
This floor has 12 units in it. 8 of them are locked down, which means the inmates housed there only come out 1 hour a day. It's a very busy place.
How's the left side been behaving?
The biggest issue for Avila on the second floor? The Tango Ortejon. Unlike the Mexican Mafia, they follow no rules.
You know, we have several gangs in this jail, lots of gang members, but the Tango Ortejons are the ones that are causing us the most grief right now. They have no laws, they have no rules, they don't abide by anything. You know, these are just people who have banded together for protection, so they say. They've actually become the aggressors now.
Represent that 15! That keep there!
In the Ortejon unit on the second floor, gang members are meeting to discuss their next moves. They'll only talk to the media as a group.
They opened up this tank about a month ago. Nothing but Ortejones. Something that went down between the Mexican Mafia and us. They separated us all and opened up this tank for us. Now there's more than, I think there's about 2 or 3 tanks now just for us Ortejones.
They say the Tango Ortejon does everything by consensus.
We don't gotta be under nobody, you know? I mean, we're our own group and we stand our own.
With no leaders, no gang structure, it's a fine line between democracy and anarchy. A line the Ortejons frequently cross.
I said basically, the majority of those that are in here, we're in here for smashing on the letra.
One of our homeboys got stabbed by the Mexican Mafia. So we set it off in the whole jail.
Once you see them, you're supposed to, you know, just smash them, you know.
When it gets out of line, no matter how many people they got or how many people we got, we're gonna jump.
Their goal? To impose their will on the inmates of this jail.
You can go visitation, you can go to chow hall, you can go to red. You just smash on site because they'll get the opportunity to do it to you, and it's already been like that. It's been going like that for a minute now.
It's a war. It's a war.
On the other side of the facility, Rodriguez is talking with two longtime members of the Mexican Mafia, Mike and Alfonso.
He's into real estate and stuff like that.
They say they've decided to leave the gang for good, to leave their bloody past behind.
A lot of bars, too.
So I'm assuming he's with the cartels then?
Yeah.
There's a guy named, they call it Chon.
Mike and Alfonso have learned over the years that the Mexican Mafia is highly structured.
You bet is his nephew?
Yeah.
Now, he's supposedly the one in charge over here?
Yeah.
He's not a puppet.
He was the sergeant of population.
Unlike the unruly Ortejon, the Mafia is a kind of criminal corporation, doing business in drugs, extortion, and murder. It's all about following orders.
If they call me at 3 in the morning, I'm gonna have to get up and go, no questions asked.
You got people coming out every day, going in, coming out day in and day out of the Texas Department of Corrections, you know, with contract hits, with orders, with all kinds of things that need to be done.
Extortion, drugs, murder for hire, all that. We'd pick up anywhere from $5 to $20 to $30 to $40,000 a week.
You know, nice cars, nice this, nice that. I've had the Rolex watches, the nice chains. I mean, $1,000 in my pocket 7 days a week. You know, I could spend $1,000 a day, not think twice, you know. I mean, can you imagine somebody...
But the perks come at a price. They have to carry out the green lights, the killings, each and every time they're ordered to.
I mean, people out there in the world, they can't grasp. They don't understand how can this guy go kill this guy or stab this guy or beat up this guy just because the next guy told him to.
I buried so many of my bros. The guy at the funeral home knew me on a first-name basis. So then one day, my uncle dies. And the guy tells me, he goes, oh no, man. He goes, I'm gonna give you a discount because you brought me so much business. And it was like, a lot of people were killed. You know, I thought in the back of my mind, you know.
Yeah, funeral parlor to tell you brought me a lot of business.
You know, and it was like, and I was like, it was one of those awe moments. Like he goes, oh no, man. He goes, I'm gonna charge you 50% on the coffin, and I'm gonna, you know, the flowers are gonna be free. You know, the spray that we're gonna throw over the coffin is gonna be free. And I'm thinking, man, have I been to this place that many times?
Mike and Alfonso soured on the Mexican Mafia when they saw their friends get killed.
You don't have to do nothing wrong, man. When it comes down to it, you become a liability. Why? Because you know too much. So what they'll do to cover their asses, they'll eliminate you. If you go back into history, 99% of the victims of the Mexican Mafia have been their own members.
You can leave the Tango Ortejon, but there is no way out of the Mexican Mafia, except in a body bag.
In the patch of the Mexican Mafia, they have a two-headed serpent, and that's called blood in, blood out. One way in or way out. You know, you have to commit an act to get in, and if you want out, you're gonna be murdered.
Mike and Alfonso do want out, and they know the risks. They've been moved into a special unit designed to protect ex-Mafia members. But they know they're not truly safe.
You're gonna have to live the rest of your life with somebody trying to kill you.
Now all they can do is look over their shoulders. Friday afternoon. Concerned about the unpredictable Ortejon gang, the officers decide to make a preemptive strike. Sergeant Avila gives the orders for a shakedown in the Ortejon unit in Pod BB.
Do not rush with the strip searching. Don't rush them. Don't let them rush you. You think they might be hiding something? Strip them again. Okay? These guys are working on our clock, all right? Sure. Okay. Try not to let the keys rattle too much. We don't want them to know that we're coming in. Really hard and fast. Anyone that doesn't get on the ground, you put them on the ground, okay? All right, 6 and 6. Yes. Yes, they're coming downstairs. Just 6 cells, so we got to double them up the cells. Double them up, just the first 6 cells. We're doing what's called an inspection, or what's commonly called a shakedown. The purpose being to look for contraband, weapons, drugs. These inspections are key to keeping the amount of drugs, contraband, weapons that we find down. Put your hands behind your back. We'll come in fast and hard with the CERT team, and then we'll put everyone down. Where's the hole? We'll put them away, we'll strip them in their cells, we'll bring them out of the cell, search the cell.
The CERT team turns the pod upside down.
When we do a cell inside, it's a mess, but we're in a purpose. We're looking for something, and we get the job done. I don't care what he says, put him in handcuffs. Trustee, start pushing that down, let's go. These shakedowns are very important. It's how we find drugs, weapons, escape plans. We had a plan last year. Several inmates had gotten together with an officer, and they had picked up saw blades, and they started cutting through the wrecked roof, and were gonna escape. We found clothing that they had dyed. We found the blades that they used. They were gonna go that night. And we were able to foil all that before it happened because of shakedown.
What we have here is a homemade tattoo ring. It's pretty simple, but it's effective. They usually conceal it on the ramen noodles or whatnot. You know, the inmates do get creative and probably can lead them into disciplinary actions. Found it on the ramen noodle bank. I was crushing it up without the bulk in it. What happened is...
Today we found some tattoo rigs, which is what they commonly use to tattoo themselves here in the jail. Jailhouse tats are really important. You know, this is how these guys identify each other.
Gang tattoos stand out like a military uniform, declaring who's on which side of the battle. The wrong ones will get you killed. In the Autojones, it's often a 210 or a spur, the symbols of San Antonio's area code or its pro basketball team. The Mafia here prefer Aztec gods, two-headed snakes, and of course, the letters of las letras.
It stands for the letter M in Spanish. Instead of saying Mexican Mafia, people would say, I'm M.
On the second floor, the CERT team responds to a call for help. An inmate's in trouble, threatening to hurt himself. It's Jose Angel Santos, ex-Autojones gang member. He says he's cracking under the pressure.
I'm suffering from trauma, man. Last time I spent 9 months in here, I got beat badly by 4 inmates.
By 4 inmates?
By 4 inmates.
Okay.
On 3 different occasions, I got jumped.
Okay.
I witnessed somebody hang herself on Christmas.
Right.
I was traumatized by that, maybe because I was one of the last persons that spoke to that guy before he did that. Okay. Then I happened to witness him.
As Jose opens up, the officers discover that just before they got there, he tried to hang himself.
Stuff is building up inside you and you're freaking out?
Yeah, because I ain't no support for my family. I got nobody.
For Sergeant Avila, there are no easy answers here. He wants to understand if Jose's tried to kill himself before.
You ever tried to commit suicide in the past? How?
In my wrist.
What'd you cut yourself with?
Sir?
What did you cut yourself with? A piece of glass? What was the reason for that incident? Why were you feeling suicidal that time?
My sister had passed away.
Okay. Well, so you're gonna go down, you're gonna speak with mental health. Tell them what you told me, let them know, and then we'll go from there, okay? Yes, sir. All right, just walk them down there.
I've been going through a lot of anxiety, depression. My last stay here, I stayed here about 8.5 months. I witnessed a lot of stuff. I had gotten jumped twice. And on the third time, it was 4 guys. They stomped my head into the ground. I got scars here on my arm from the tennis shoes, the friction. They had kicked me and stuff like this. And I was kind of traumatized by that. They put me in a one-man cell, started hearing voices, couldn't cope with it. So I did attempt suicide. I made 2 attempts to tie my sheet and fish it through a vent. I actually had gotten up here, stepped on this, and with the pen, I actually kind of like made a hook, tied real thin, and fished it through. I tied a knot there and then tied like a string about like this, so that it wouldn't move, and it wasn't sturdy enough. So when I got to down here, I tried tying the knot there, and it just would bust. The sheet wouldn't take my body weight, so I failed.
A flimsy sheet saved his life this time. But no one is sure if he'll try again. Officer Rodriguez checks in on the unit of former Mexican Mafia members where Mike and Alfonso are housed. But when Rodriguez pulls another ex-Mafia member aside, the conversation takes a surprising turn. The inmate is not exactly what he seems.
We had you down as ex-Mafia, but now you're saying you're active?
Yes, sir.
So what are you? You prospecto, carnal? What are you?
Feedman.
You're feedman? Okay, so you okay to go with those people?
Yeah.
Now, what about all this time you spent with
2 months ago, this inmate said he was out of the Mexican Mafia, but now he's revealing he never left. He was just pretending to have retired. He did it for a reason. Murder.
For any specific reason?
I was trying to go for one guy, but really I ain't gonna say name, but I never got be able to get close to him.
Can you tell me who ordered you to do that?
Oh, no, I can't say who ordered me, but...
Okay, and why couldn't you get to him?
Because there was no chances, you know. I was trying to get close to him, but getting moved out of groups, but I never...
You never could do it, huh?
Never can
so
do
you
it.
just finally...
He was on orders from the Mafia to work his way inside the ex-members pod and kill one of them. It could be Mike or Alfonso. He won't reveal his target.
They told me to do it, but like if I wanted to, and I jumped up on it.
But I thought you can't do that in county jail. I thought you can't clean up in county jail like that.
No, you could.
Okay. Now, by doing so, that would have progressed you up to prospect. So do you have a padrino?
To this gangster, murder is just the price you pay to show your loyalty to the Mexican Mafia.
He's locked up right now in Pennsylvania. I just felt that they were going to show me more love than my real family. So. Money, cars, and girls, and all that.
That's just the way it is. These dudes will kill you. You got people waiting in line to join the Mexican Mafia, and you have to have blood on your hands in order to be a Mexican Mafia member.
This letter right here says that you're an affiliate of the Mexican Mafia, and this letter is going to authorize me to house you with the active members of the Mafia. Sign here and initial where it says affiliate.
After failing to commit the hit, this gangbanger wants to go back to his friends in the active Mexican Mafia unit. For Mike and Alfonso, the situation is looking more precarious than ever. There may be hit orders out on them. "9 a.m. Friday. Avila's CERT team gets a call. Inmates are acting out. in any war, there's collateral damage.
Where y'all going? Don't worry about it. Already.
Since the majority of gang members spend up to 23 hours a day in their cells, locked down because of gang activity, sometimes they go over the edge.
Get on the ground. Get on the ground.
Routinely, CERT is called in to handle inmates who have lost control. These eruptions can be dangerous. At risk from more gang violence, traumatized and depressed, Jose attempted suicide. Now, the challenge is where to house him. Jose feels at risk in general population. They can't put him in with the gangs. And he doesn't want to go into protective custody for fear that it might label him as a snitch and make him more of a target.
That leaves a quote-unquote jacket that you will carry with you throughout any jail or prison or wherever you go. It follows you. Somebody will know you wherever you go.
The officers decide to place him in the homosexual pod.
They ran out of options. They would no longer house me in a general population with other gang members because classification had to take the precaution. They would have been able to justify why I got beat up.
Jose has 3 children with 3 different women, but now he's in with the gay population. It's the only place he might be safe, given his gang past.
I was kind of forced into the homosexual pod because of my past experiences. On several occasions I got jumped. On others I had just fought one-on-one. And even as a solo, they wouldn't leave me alone because I was an ex-member.
So Jose is left in his new unit, unsure just what will happen next. In this special pod on the 2nd floor, ex-gang members have banded together for protection. Still, they know that it's open season on them. Alfonso is aware that the Mexican mafia has a standing hit out on him. What he didn't know when he came to this unit was that his own cellie was supposed to murder him.
I was ordered to kill this guy 2 times. I refused to do it. And I told him, look, man, look what these guys are trying to do to you. You know, and you know, they were trying to say that he was a snitch, that he was cooperating.
I owe him my life. You know, he saved my life.
One day I was ordered at a meeting that I was supposed to kill this guy because supposedly he was an informant. But later I found out that it wasn't true. What it was is the main guy was just trying to clear his, save his. He wasn't sure, he didn't want to take no chances, so he said, you know what? Better safe now than sorry later. So, you know, kill this guy. By this time I had already lost faith, and I said, you know what? The hell with you guys. And I was contacted again, hey man, no, we want you back. All you gotta do is kill your cellie.
The reason I'm not so shocked is because, you know, what he's talking about, I've already lived it. You know, and you know, I've seen it done, and I've seen people experience that. So, you know, I mean, some of my best friends were killed, you know, and it's sad to say that, you know, I mean,
can you imagine going to a bar or to a sporting event or eating dinner with his family, Christmas, New Year's, and the next day, you know, hey, you gotta kill this dude, or this dude's murdered. Go bury him. To have to be involved in one of a close friend of yours murder, hey man, it's gonna affect you, dude. It's gonna affect you.
When anyone can turn on you at any moment, Mike and Alfonso can't be sure where the danger will be coming from next. Monday, second floor of the county jail. Officers can sense the mood in the pod is getting worse. Something bad is coming. And within only a few hours, the violence that's been building finally erupts.
Roll over. Stay down, stay down.
Nobody move. Turn your back, leave it there. Anybody move, break them in half. Pull everybody.
Fresh blood on the floor tells the story. An inmate has been brutally beaten. It's an attack by the Tango Orajon gang.
We had a group of 9 or 10 inmates, Tango Orajones, and allegedly there was one member that was either suspected or confirmed to be Mexican mafia. And some kind of order went through, a green light, to assault him. So as soon as they came out under 1 hour of day room time, the victim, he was assaulted.
The Orajon believed that a new inmate in the pod was actually a member of the Mexican mafia, so they decided to jump him. In fact, no one knew his gang for sure, but unaffiliated new inmates are often attacked, according to informant Payaso.
The door opens up, everybody's hoping, man, there's a new dude coming in, we're all hoping, man, maybe it's a Netra. Everybody's hoping that for some reason, they made a mistake and they're bringing in a Mexican mafia in there or something so they can get to him.
The victim is sent off to the hospital, and the ringleaders are moved to the intensive supervision wing for a spell of solitary confinement.
We had 10 guys beat up one guy. That was a riot. Lock the unit down, everyone gets secured and gets put in the house. The Tango Orajon, they're actually the ones that have caused most of the problems for us, but they do not understand. They think they can just behave how they will, how they want, and there won't be any repercussions because of that, but they're wrong.
Oh man, well, those dudes messed up, man. They just got caught up.
For the ex-Mexican mafia members, the incident is bloody confirmation of what they already knew.
1600s, 1700s.
This type of lifestyle, it's a train wreck waiting to happen.
In this life, there's only 2 roads you can wind up in, and that's in prison for life or dead. You would tell us.
But for ex-members, there's an irony that cuts even more deeply. They joined a gang for brotherhood, but in the end, it's these same brothers that are coming after them.
I sacrificed my life for those guys, What they wanted done, I did it. And at the end, I got crossed out. My own carnales crossed me out. And now I'm here fighting for my life.
You'd be surprised, the things that people are killed for. It's petty, man.
Say we're mafia members. Say he's in charge. And say he tells this guy and me, hey, I want you to kill this guy. So we go kill him. You know what's gonna happen to me? He's gonna have to cover his so I'm gonna be killed.
Then they're gonna take you for that gangster ride. And what I mean by gangster ride, they're gonna tell you, hey, let's go get a couple of beers. 2 or 3 homeboys are gonna get in the car. You're gonna be sitting in the front seat. Next thing you know, you got a bullet hole in the back of your head.
It's real, man. It's real. It's real. It's real nasty as far as getting sent home in the box. You know, I mean, it's the real thing.
In the homosexual pod, ex-Orajon gang member Jose is trying to keep a low profile. He's decided he has no problem being there. In fact, he says he's actually had homosexual experiences himself, at least behind bars.
Well, I guess the thing with me is that I've come to realize that, hey, you know, I'm bisexual. This is actually my first time being housed with homosexuals. It's a live soap opera.
Who are you speaking to? What am I gonna ask for?
All the screaming, the hollering. They always saying some off-the-wall type stuff.
Jose's due to go to court soon to find out his sentence.
At this point, I don't even know where I stand right now as far as in what direction I want to go.
I've been in and out of jails, been through rehabs, halfway homes, whatnot, inpatient, outpatient programs.
People think in their eyes that this is the best place for me.
As for what comes next, Jose has no idea. He's still too unnerved to figure out what the future holds.
At this point, I'm not really thinking about the future. I take it one day at a time. I've never set any long-term goals. Things don't go according to plan. That's why it's not good to plan ahead, you see what I'm saying?
In their high-security unit, ex-mafia members Mike and Alfonso may be looking over their shoulders for the next threat.
It was like a sack of potatoes.
But in many ways, they're making a new start.
Man, the day I became an ex-gang member, I knew I didn't have to answer to nobody. I didn't have to carry myself in. I was my own man, dude. I didn't have to. It was like a brick, like he said, a sack of potatoes off your shoulders. I feel like it's over with. It was like if I was a new man, dude.
It's like,
I mean,
it's like you're drowning and you come up for air. You know,
all those years, you know, carrying a gun, a 45 in my waistband, selling large amounts of cocaine, of heroin, having $2,000 in my pocket, the women, the clubs, all that was foolishness. It was foolishness. And now I felt like my own man. I'm a real man, dude.
He's the actual first real friend that I've ever made in life. You know, because I can actually say that I can trust him with my life, and he can trust me with his.
But inside Bayer, for every inmate that leaves the gangs, several more are joining. And the Tango Orajons show no sign of slowing down.
It's just going so fast, you know? I mean, the youngsters, they're coming and just going wild.
We're showing them we can be our own, you know, and if it takes to go, you know, smash with them or go to war with them, that's what it's gonna be.
It's been war. Whenever they got a chance, they're gonna smash on us. When we get a chance, we're gonna smash on them.
And so Officer Rodriguez and the gang unit are left the difficult task of combating a problem that may never really go away.
Bexar County will do everything they can to deter gangs, but we also understand that we cannot completely stop them. Many of these gang members, their fathers are part of the gang, their brothers are part of the gang, so for them, this is really a part of their life. So when they say it's never going to end, unfortunately, they probably are correct.
Ain't nothing gonna stop it. It's like a cancer. It just grows and grows and grows. You know, you can cut it out little bits and pieces at a time by doing roundups and all kinds of stuff. But you know what? It ain't never gonna stop. It ain't gonna stop.
Bayard County Jail, the Tango Ora Home, and the Mexican Mafia are just getting started.